What is up, YouTube? It is Baseball Nerd back with another MLB video. Today is just going to be a quick little recap of some of the free agent signings and rumors that have been going around lately. The last one we did was the Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco trade to the Mets. So just going to be looking at some of the guys that have signed since then, and I'm kind of lumping them all together. Maybe looking at some of the guys that are hopefully going to sign very shortly here. As always, please like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and come back for more videos. Getting right into it, we're going to look at right after that signing happened. The next day, there wasn't really much that happened as far as free agency pickups go. But the next day after that, Kyle Schwarber signed a one-year, $10 million contract with the Nationals. I kind of, in the beginning of this offseason, was hoping the Nationals would do some moves to kind of put them back in contention. They lost Rendon and Zimmerman. I know Zimmerman was part of their team last year but didn't play. But I'm just saying they lost some key bats in that lineup. And Strasburg, obviously, and Scherzer still weren't as good as they were in 2019 last year. But I still think they're very close to getting back to a World Series or at least a playoff berth. So I think Kyle Schwarber signing, the Josh Bell trade, some of the moves they've been making look really good. I think their outfield now looks pretty solid. Infield looks good with Carter Kieboom, Trey Turner, Josh Bell, and then I think Asdrubal Cabrera or something like that will play second base for them. Or I think they have Starlin Castro, maybe him. Catcher, they lost Kurt Suzuki, so I don't know what they'll do there. Maybe another pitcher signing or something like that. But they look pretty good now on paper, in my opinion. I've seen them linked with Chris Bryant, maybe a trade for him at third. I don't know if that buys Carter Kieboom more time or if you move him to second or what they do. But either way, the team's looking a lot better, and I like that move. The next day, we had the White Sox make a pretty big splash, signing Liam Hendriks to a 4-year, $54 million contract. I really like this move. I know some people say he was a little expensive, and I agree he might be a little expensive, but I mean, he's arguably been the best reliever in baseball the last 2 years, borderline 3 years, and he's, coming off winning the AL, reliever of the year award. So I don't think this is a bad move in bolstering that bullpen even more when they've made the trade already for Lance Lynn to give their rotation a little more solidified, and their bats are already insane. I still think they could use a DH. They lost Edwin Encarnacion and James McCann, so Grandal will probably be behind the plate a lot more. So I think they could still use another DH bat. Something in there could be sick. If they got Marcell Ozuna or Nelson Cruz, or they don't have to go for the elite DHs, but anything like that would be awesome to see to make them even that much more of a World Series contender. After that, there's kind of a couple days of off, not much happening. The Astros did sign reliever Pedro Baez to a 2-year, $12 million contract, and this is hard to say being an Angels fan, but I kind of feel like the AL West is kind of up for grabs with the Oakland A's losing at least Liam Hendriks, but also a couple more bullpen pieces. Losing Marcus Semien, as far as we know. They haven't re-signed it, but he hasn't signed anywhere, so maybe he will be back with the A's. But that kind of crashed. The Astros, I know Verlander hurt last year, and I don't know. I don't know how this could play out. Carlos Correa will be on his last year of his contract. They lose Michael Brantley and George Springer, though. And I think that really hurts unless they sign one of them back. It doesn't look like they're going to get Springer back, but maybe they will. I feel like they won't. Brantley seems a little more likely. I don't know. The Angels, they're not getting pitching still, so we don't know what they're going to do. The Mariners are a good up-and-coming young team. The Rangers looked really good last year on paper. Then, Kluber goes out, and they didn't really play super great. And so maybe they are now going to make a running now. I saw them sign David Dahl earlier in the offseason, but they trade Lance Lynn. I don't know what's going to happen here. That whole AL West kind of seems up for grabs at the current moment. So not a bad signing by the Astros. The Phillies, I like this move. I like to see this. They are solidifying their bullpen, which is what they desperately needed last year. They signed Archie Bradley to a 1-year, $6 million contract. I'm surprised that no one else, obviously people probably tried, but 1 year, $6 million for Archie Bradley. He's a really good reliever last year, and so I really like that signing for the Phillies. I kind of wish maybe the Angels would have went after him, but everyone can use relief pitching, so I think that really helps the Phillies. Now they just need to go out and re-sign JT. The Giants signed Alex Wood to a 1-year, $3 million contract. I like that signing for the Giants. I'm not sure where the Giants are. There's a lot of teams I kind of feel like this. Like they seem like maybe they are towards a rebuild, but have some veteran players, but are still signing guys. So I like to see them buy guys like that. Alex Wood on a 1-year, $3 million contract. That can't hurt you. He's not very expensive. He's done really good things in the past. So I like that move for the Giants especially. And then moving into January 15th, we had a pretty big day. I'll get out of the way the not as important one, which was Kurt Suzuki signing a 1-year, $1.5 million contract with the Angels. I want pitching, but I'm okay with this. I think it helps out. It will help our pitching in the long run, and I like his, veteran leadership. He's back with Anthony Rendon. I like that stuff, and it wasn't too expensive, so it's not going to hurt us, hopefully, going after a pitcher. The Yankees, though, they went off on January 15th. First, we got one of our biggest free agents finally signing, infielder, second baseman, DJ LeMahieu, 60 years, $90 million with the New York Yankees. He's back in the Bronx. I kind of felt like this was going to happen the whole time, but I was hoping to see him in like Toronto or something like that. Didn't happen. He's back in the Bronx. Kind of cheap in my opinion for a guy that's been, up there, at the top of the average leaderboard every year, winning the batting title last year, stuff like that. I mean, he plays a lot of different positions in the infield if needed. I like DJ a lot. So I kind of feel like 6 years, $90 million. I'm surprised it was that low. I was expecting him to get, 100 mil plus. But, not a bad contract for him, and definitely not a bad signing for the Yankees. I think they really needed his bat back. And then this is the pick that I was really hoping he wouldn't go to the Yankees. I was seeing the Red Sox, and I was okay with it. I was hoping the Angels would make an offer for him. I was even, expecting maybe the Dodgers to come out and swoop him up. But Corey Kluber is on a 1-year, $11 million contract, is also going to the Bronx. The thing about Corey Kluber is, yes, he was hurt last year after pitching, 11 pitches. Hurt the year before. But before that, he had 4 years in a row where he was in the top 10 for Cy Young. I think he finished 9th place, and then 3rd place, and then won the Cy Young, and then finished 3rd place again. The dude's a beast. He's an ace, and I think he's betting on himself with this 1-year contract because he knows he's going to come out and prove it again. So I really like this signing. I wish it wasn't the Yankees. I almost wish it was anyone else. But now that rotation is stacked. Garrett Cole, Corey Kluber, Luis Severino. If they get Tanaka or Paxton, any one of them back, they got Debbie Garcia, Clark Schmidt coming up. They have a lot of really, really good pitchers. I was really hoping he didn't go there, but we'll see. I think he will pan out, unless obviously barring an injury of some sort. I'd hope that doesn't happen, though. I'd love to see Corey Kluber return to Klubot and, pitch his ass off. Next couple days, not really much happening. And that brings us to today. And today we have a big 3-team trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates, the New York Mets, and the San Diego Padres. And obviously the big name here is right-handed starting pitcher Joe Musgrove going from the Pittsburgh Pirates to the San Diego Padres. Like I said, they've already gotten Yu Darvish. They got Blake Snell. They had Mike Clevenger, who is now going to miss this season, but will be back in 2022. Chris Paddock, Mackenzie Gore coming up. Danielson Lamet had a breakout, amazing season. So they already were stacked in the rotation and had made some big upgrades this offseason, and now they add another one in Joe Musgrove, who's going to be like their 4th starter behind Darvish and Snell and probably Lamet. So that's a really, really solid rotation. But he's not the only one. There's a highly touted prospect in Joey Lucchesi who is going to the Mets. He is a left-handed starting pitcher, and so that's a really nice piece going over to the Mets in this trade. And then the prospects heading over to the Pirates, it's a pretty big haul. I don't know how many of these guys are, in the top 100 or not. I haven't checked that out yet, but I do know it's Hudson Head, David Bednar, Omar Cruz, Drake Fellows, and they're all going back to Pittsburgh. So the Pirates are also going to get minor leaguer Endy Rodriguez from the Mets. So, I like this move for the Padres. I don't necessarily think they needed more pitching already, but, it can't hurt to have more. So I'm always, for teams getting more pitching, whether it's relievers or starters. So this is a good move for them. Especially if they can do it, why not? It seems that they've been keeping a lot of their big prospects. Obviously, Joey Lucchesi is a big one leaving, but other than that, it doesn't seem like they're hurting too bad in their prospects department either. And Musgrove had a 4.33 ERA over his 5 seasons with the Pirates. He's 28 years old. He's from California, and he had his career high 12.5 K9 in 2020. So, he already said it's a dream of his to play in his hometown, when growing up. So that's a big thing for him. So that's really cool to see that. And then we also have the Nationals picking up starting pitcher John Lester for a 1-year deal. Don't know how much money yet. Haven't seen that come out. But this is also another great move for the Nationals. Like I said, I want them in World Series or at least playoff contention. And I just don't think they're that far away. So this move helps bolster maybe a weaker point in their team with the depth in their starting rotation. They have good guys at the top in Scherzer and Strasburg and even Patrick Corbin. So this helps out, round out that rotation a little bit more. And that's kind of all that's happened so far today. Hopefully nothing big breaks right after I post this, but we'll have to see. Rumor-wise, I'm seeing a lot of people linked with the Blue Jays, like I've said, DJ LeMahieu, Springer, all these guys. But it kind of seems like, some of these guys are a little off-put by knowing where they're going to play in 2021, as Canada won't let them play there. So last year Toronto ended up playing, or the Blue Jays ended up playing in Buffalo. So maybe that's part of it for some people. I don't know how much. Maybe they're not willing to spend as much as they say they are, and that's the problem for some people. Maybe they just don't, even though they made the playoffs last year, maybe some of these players just, would rather go to a bigger market and play for a team that they think will contend a little easier. I don't know what it is, but I hope the Blue Jays get some guys. I thought they were an exciting young team last year, and so I think it'd be cool to see them compete again. Springer seems, like I said, only to be linked to the Mets and the Blue Jays from what I see online. I don't know where he will go, but I hope he signs soon, and I think he will. The DH, the whole universal DH thing that we talked about in the last video, I think has kind of hindered some of these negotiations for DHs like Ozuna and Nelson Cruz, but it seems like Ozuna's getting a lot of suitors right now, so maybe it's not hindering it as much as I thought, and maybe he will sign relatively soon. Trevor Bauer is so hard to pin down. I still don't know where he's going or when he's signing, so I'm still holding on, a little faith there, but I don't know if that will happen. As far as any other rumors, I haven't seen a whole lot. I've seen a couple of the relievers, Alex Colomé and guys like that linked with some people. So we'll see what happens there. Kirby Yates as well. I know he's not linked to the Padres. Apparently he has 5 teams left and the Padres are not one of them. So I don't know. The Dodgers seem to be going after more relievers. Even though they've already signed Blake Trinan, they traded for Corey Neville. They made some moves, so I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get that bullpen just as stacked as anyone else in the league and take over that top bullpen spot. I don't know, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys up to date with any rumors or free agent pickups that happen here in the next couple of days. And yeah, that's it for this one. So like I said, always like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you guys on the next one.